Hello friends and welcome to HitBullsEye. My name is Manish Mittal and in this video we are going to discuss the current affairs, the most important current affairs for today. And this is your daily dose of current affairs, an initiative of HitBullsEye, and we are getting such a good response from all of you. And I've received messages from various students saying that they are really appreciating that we are covering the 5 news every day. And although in one video it doesn't seem like much, but over a period of time students have experienced a change in or a significant achievement or significant improvement in their retention of current affairs, which of course is our purpose. Yes, good evening. So that is what our purpose is, and with that purpose we are choosing 5 most important news of the day, and we are making you revise that. So let's see what all news we are going to discuss in this class. First is Glycosmus albicarpa. It's a new species of something that has been discovered. We will discuss about that. Then former Army Chief of India, General S.F. Rodrigues, who also later on became the governor of Punjab, is no more. He has passed away. So we'll see his significant contributions and the various positions he held in his life. Then Kavach, which is a program of Indian Railways, is in news. We will look about that. There is a resolution that has been passed on plastic pollution at the international level. We'll have a look at that. And finally, village defense committees have been constituted in Jammu. So let's see these 5 important news. So first is Glycosmus albicarpa. A team of scientists from Botanical Survey of India, or BSI, have discovered a new Ginberry species. So it's a new Ginberry species, and it has been discovered from the Kanyakumari Wildlife Sanctuary in Tamil Nadu. So as you can see in the picture, it's a Ginberry species, and it has been discovered in Kanyakumari Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, what is the significance of this discovery? It has a distinct large white fruit, as you saw in the picture. And this plant is endemic to the southern Western Ghats. The species belongs to the orange family Rutaceae. The species is an evergreen small tree, and it was found as undergrowth in the Tirunelveli semi-evergreen forests and the Panagudi forest section of the wildlife sanctuary, the Kanyakumari Wildlife Sanctuary. So it's a great news for the environmentalists. And also, it's going to be a great addition to what we call the biodiversity register. Biodiversity register. There's a movement, specifically it was going on in Kerala. I don't know whether it's in Tamil Nadu or not, but a people's biodiversity register was made a few years back that will record the new species of plants and animals as and when they are discovered. So this is called a biodiversity register. And this new plant has been named Glycosmus albicarpa. So this also will be added to this. So it's a really heartening news and really good thing to see that new species are being discovered and new names are being given to these species. Otherwise, we are only seeing the extinction of plants and animals. It's rare to see the preservation and such a good naming of such plants and organisms. So in that context, it's a important news. Second, and in a sad news, the former Chief of Indian Army from 1990 to 1993, General S.F. Rodrigues, is no more, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the President Ram Nath Kovind has expressed grief over their passing away. So he held the position of the Army Chief from 1990 to 1993 for 3 years, and after his retirement, he also served 2 terms on the National Security Advisory Board, on NSAB. It's a very significant position concerning the internal as well as external security of India. He was also the governor of Punjab from 2004 to 2010. So these are the positions he held. First, as an army chief, chief of army staff. Second, as a member of the National Security Advisory Board, and finally as the governor of Punjab. So he was an important personality. Next, so Kavach basically is, Kavach means a protective gear or a protective equipment. So Kavach is an anti-collision system for the Indian Railways, and Union Minister of Railways has inspected the trial of Kavach working system between Gullaguda, Chittagidda railway stations on Lingampalli, Vikarabad section in Secunderabad division of South Central Railway. So the Union Railways Minister has inspected the trial of this particular system. It is an indigenously developed anti-collision system, and it has been developed by the Research, Design and Standards Organization, RDSO, in collaboration with Indian industry. It is meant to provide protection by preventing trains to pass the signal at danger and avoid collision. So say if a train passes a red signal, it will automatically apply its brakes. So under the Kavach system, if the train goes past a red signal, automatic brakes will be applied. Or if a train goes beyond if a train goes beyond the speed limit, even then the brakes will be automatically applied. It activates the train braking system automatically. The driver fails to control the train as per the speed restrictions, and it prevents collision between two locomotives which are equipped with Kavach system. So with the help of GPS, if two trains are coming too close to each other, it will slow them down, it will apply the braking so that the trains cannot collide. And over the next few years, Kavach system is expected to be equipped in all the locomotives, all the trains, and all the stations of India. And I think that is the bare minimum that government should do for protection of its passengers. Next, resolution on plastic pollution. So we know how the entire world is moving towards organic and less polluting substances. So single-use plastic is something that has been inviting the hate of most of the world, and rightly so. So the world leaders who recently met at a United Nations conference in Kenya have agreed to work together in the biggest ever push to stem the flood of plastic pollution. So how are they going to do it? The UN Environment Assembly has voted to adopt a resolution that paves the way for a legally binding agreement on plastic pollution by 2024. And these are the steps we will have to take in the next few years. Just like last year, we had the Conference of Parties 26th meeting, in which many countries agreed to step up their nationally determined contributions. We have to do it. Otherwise, as the IPCC report suggests, we are likely to face very, very harmful effects of climate change. So by 2024, we also need to have a legally binding agreement on plastic use. And very hearteningly and I think it's very fortunate that the vote was unanimous. Every country agreed. All the nations agreed to create an intergovernmental committee to negotiate the terms of the treaty. And the head of UN Environment Program, Inger Anderson, said that the plastics treaty would be the most significant environment pact since 2015 Paris Agreement. So in the 2015 Paris Agreement, all the countries of the world came together and they agreed that carbon dioxide emissions have to be reduced, that the share of renewables energy has to be increased, and that afforestation has to be done. Now, we need another major treaty so that plastic pollution can be curtailed, so that the unregulated use of plastic can be controlled. So we need that. And finally, the union government has announced that it will re-establish the village defense committees in Jammu to fight militancy. Provide high-tech weapons and ensure equal salary to its members. So it's basically a bit of a controversial move. But looking at the extent of, you can say, the threat of militancy in Jammu and Kashmir, the village defense committees are going to be revived. So in these committees, people are trained to fight militants. They are given high-tech weapons, right? And they are trained, just like you can see in the picture. So VDCs will be re-established with a changed nomenclature. They will be called Village Defense Groups now, VDGs. So certain change in nomenclature is there. Secondly, a formal order is very soon expected from the Home Ministry, which deals with internal security of India. This is something you should know about. As far as external security is concerned, the Defense Ministry is concerned. But whenever we're talking about internal security, it is the Home Ministry that is concerned. So the village defense committees were constituted in 1995 in 10 districts of Jammu region to fight militants in far-off places. Around 26,000 locals were recruited into these committees, and most of the VDCs were disbanded after its members were accused of violence. That's why I told you that it's a controversial move, because if you train civilians and you give them arms, then it is very likely that there will be violence that is unintended. And due to that, those VDCs were, you can say, disbanded. But now, after all those years, the government is thinking of reviving them and of training those personnel and of giving them arms so that they can tackle the problem of militancy. Perhaps now, government is trying to achieve different things in Jammu and Kashmir after its status has been changed. So now, in a new scenario, VDCs are going to be called VDGs, or village defense groups. And it's an indication to the militants as well that they should surrender, or they should lay their arms, and they should stop fighting the government. Right, so these were the 5 important news that you had to cover today. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Also share it with your friends, and do visit gk.hitbullseye.com, which is our website. You can find various free material here and free tests over here. You can register yourself and you can take the benefit of all the resources available on the website. Also, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you receive the notifications of these videos every day. Thank you so much, and see you next day.